joining us. Good afternoon and welcome to the session. My name is Sarah Shuja and I'm the marketing manager at McGraw Hill. We have quite an exciting session planned for you today. And as you can see, the name suggests we will be covering productivity hacks for professors with the new Windows 11 and Microsoft 365. This session is going to be an hour long, so we will end at 6 p.m. UAE time. Basically, whatever time you're in now, we're going to be end in an hour's time. And Randy will demonstrate how you can incorporate Windows 11 and Microsoft 65 features into your class, and you can improve your personal productivity using both these Microsoft 11 and Windows 365. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but before we start, just a couple of things. So I've said I'm your moderator for today, Sarah Shuja, and I'll be moderating the chat box as well as the Q&A. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A box or equally use the chat box. And I am so pleased to have Dr. Randy Nordell join us today for the session. Randy is a professor at business technology at American River College in California. He has been in education for more than 30 years and has taught high school, community college, university leads. Actually, many of you may or may not know, but Randy is also the lead author of Microsoft Office 365 and 101 Tips for Online Course Success and Microsoft Outlook 2010. So I'm not sure if that was a fun fact for you, but that's that. Thank you so much, Randy, for being here for the webinar today. It's early 6 a.m. for you, and you're here to tell us more about these hacks for professors. So can't wait to hear all about it. And before I just hand over to Randy, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but I just want to cover a few FAQs that often come in. So I do want to remind you that you will get a certificate of the session after the webinar, most likely within the next 2 days. You'll also get the recording of this session. So we will be sending out the recording of this webinar as well. We do recommend that you close down any high bandwidth apps like Netflix, YouTube, any gaming platform. This might affect your bandwidth. And what else have I got? I think, yeah, make sure we want to keep this as interactive. Feel free to ask questions in the Q&A box. Stay interactive with us on the chat box. We can cover Q&As in the end, but you feel free to drop them as we go along. That's not a problem at all. And at this point, I can stop sharing my screen and hand over to Randy. Thank you so much. Have a great session.
Thanks, Sarah. Let me share my screen here. I'm gonna stop my video for a while. I'll come back on. I'll come back on a little later here, and let's get going. So yeah, as Sarah has said, this just some productivity hacks, just to some of them to show you some features with Windows 11 and Microsoft 365, what's available, and then there's some other Microsoft apps and just little hacks that I've picked up over the way. Usually pick up from somebody else and learn and try to be more productive and to help our students be more productive. So as we go along, if you have any questions, please throw them into chat or Q&A, and Saresh will feed me some of those questions, and we'll talk about those. So I do want to make it somewhat interactive also. So thanks for being here. I know it's at the end of your day, it's at the beginning of my day, so let's move on here. Okay, so anybody currently using Windows 11 on any of your computers, a personal device or work computer? Anybody doing that so far or using that so far? I'm going to pull up some chat here. Just oh, whoa. Jumped on me here. So anybody? Anybody using Windows 11? So maybe not Windows 11. It's been out for a little bit. I know most colleges, I know here in the States don't have not switched over to Windows 11 yet, still using Windows 10. I've been using Windows 11 on my personal computer for quite some time, back in the beta version of it, is just to see what was coming out. And I see a couple of them. Mohammed there said, yeah, he uses it. So I really like Windows 11. So kind of a theme in Windows 11 is the just simplifying Windows, just making it less just a glut of stuff. So I mean, Windows is huge, you know, a lot of different things. So I'll talk about it and I'll show you. Actually, a couple of people there say they're using it. So good. I don't know if you have any favorite features. I'm going to show you some of mine, but really, again, the kind of the theme behind Windows 11 was just to simplify it down, make it a little bit cleaner, and kind of get rid of some stuff. And I'll show you that. So what they did is simplified the start menu. So the start menu had, you know, a lot of stuff in it. It still does, but it's really simplified down. Both the File Explorer and context menus in Windows 11, same thing, really clean those up. And you can still find all the things that were there before. They're just not just out in the open. So I'll show you, but really clean those up. Virtual desktops, the task view has been around for a while. But the virtual desktops have been enhanced, and some of these things are enhancements, not new features. Snap Assist, for example, it's been around for a while. So if you have Windows 10, it works on Windows 10. One of the nice things with the new Snap Assist, they've enhanced it to work better with multiple monitors, because I think most people nowadays work with multiple monitors. So that's Snap Assist. PowerToys is actually, it's not really a Windows 11 feature. It's actually a kind of an incubator app that you can get in the Microsoft Store, but it has some really fun features. So I'll show you those. That may be worth the price of admission, just for the PowerToy. The one thing I'll show you a couple things from that. Sharing files on OneDrive. In the past, it's been weird. It's been kind of fragmented, and the share would be different depending on where you were sharing from. So if you were sharing from within sharing a file on OneDrive from within one of the desktop applications, such as Excel or Word, the share experience would be different than if you were sharing a file from, say, the File Explorer, or maybe OneDrive Online, or one of the Office applications online. It was a different experience, or just different interface. Now they've unified all that, which makes it really nice. And then the visual refresh, just the rounding of corners of both windows and menus and all of that. So anyway, so quite a few new things. So I'm going to jump out of here, and as we go along, again, if you have questions, throw them into chat. So a lot of these features are to help you be more productive. So let me kind of walk through a couple. So I'm on Windows 11. This is my laptop you're seeing here, and this is the start menu. So they've really, so rather than being pinned at the left like it used to be, and having an alphabetic listing down the left-hand side, and then the tiles in the middle, made the tiles much smaller, but they put these on top. These are the ones that I've pinned here, and you can have multiple rows of tiles there. They still have a listing of all apps. Okay, that is still available there. I was thinking, oh, that's good, I'll use that. What I found is I really don't ever use that all apps listing. I pin the ones that I use most frequently here, as well as on the taskbar down here. And then if I need to find something else that's not pinned, I just search for it. I click up here and type whatever, access or whatever. Originally, when Windows 11 came out, it did not allow groups of of apps here. Now it does. So I'm able to group things, all my Office 365 or Microsoft 365 apps there. Down here, recommended files that are commonly or most recently used. You can see more here as well. Then you have your power and your account information. So that's the start menu, nice and clean, okay, not cluttered at all. And that's kind of the theme behind Windows 11, is just to simplify it a bit. Let me show you a couple other things. The File Explorer. So this File Explorer window here, notice that it's not a ribbon like it is on Windows 10. When I use my wife's computer now, I'm like, oh man, there's a lot of stuff there. They've just simplified it down to just a simple menu here, and of the things that you use most frequently. So like, new folder is common and new different types of files, but cut, copy, rename, paste, delete, share, all of those are available, and the view, and then you can always go and find other things. So there's other options and all that available. So pretty much everything that was there before is still there. It's just really simplified and clean. So the other one, so that's File Explorer. The other one is the context menu. So here's the context menu now. Again, much cleaner than in the previous version of Windows. So things you use most frequently right at top, you have some others, the open with and sharing and all of that are available. So those are there. If you want to see more options, I'll do this. This is the old context menu. So just to give you a contrast here, a lot of stuff there, okay, in that context menu. So the new one really simplifies it, just makes it a little more pleasing to the eye there. So that's context menus and simplifying there. Let me, virtual desktops, down here, the task view, in the past, as you click on that, my computer's kind of slow there. It shows all the different windows that are open. That's task view. Now you can have multiple different desktops with different tasks on those desktops. So this Randy's work doesn't have anything on it, where my book stuff has a bunch of stuff on it. And I can move, if I want to move some of these open windows to a different desktop, I can. So you can flip-flop back and forth between making your desktops a little less cluttered by having two different ones open and different apps on those. So that's kind of a nice feature. I'll get out of there. Snap Assist. Okay, so probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite one of the one of my favorites of the Windows 11. So in the past, we've been able to take a window, snap it over to a side like this. It'll fill up half the window, or if you go up in the corner of the quadrant, if you're on a bigger monitor, no problem. The issue becomes when you're using multiple monitors, which I think most of us do. If I go to snap it to the right-hand side, it's going to actually go throw it on the other monitor over there. So what Microsoft has done is, in the maximize restore down button on every single open window is your different snap assist option. So it makes no difference which window it is. If I put my pointer there, it will give me those options. So I can do that, put here, fill up the left-hand side with that File Explorer, and then choose what I want to fill up on the right-hand side there. And if it's a larger monitor, you'll have more options. This one just has 4 options here. I think on my bigger monitor on the right, I think I have 6 or 8 different options. So anyway, and then to get them back, you can just pull them down, and it resizes them back to the original window size here. And snapping to the top always opens it and maximizes it out. So that's a really nice one. Okay, Power Toys. So this one is, again, you can get it from the Windows Store. It's kind of an incubator for new ideas and things. I think some of these things will eventually roll into Windows 11. I don't know why they haven't already done some of them. So here's a Power Toys. It's resides in the system tray here, And if I click on this, it's going to give me some of the quick ones that are available. And one that I use quite often, a text extractor. So if you have a PDF that's locked or something that you want to get some text, you can go and extract it and paste it somewhere else. So it basically will extract it and copy it, and it'll let you paste it other places. So the text extractor is really nice. A lot of these have quick keys here. The WinShift T for text extractor is the way to do that one. The other one that I really like is finding your mouse. So with multiple monitors, I'm constantly losing my mouse pointer on my screen. I don't know if it's on my bigger screen on the right or my laptop, but I'm constantly frantically moving my mouse around trying to locate my pointer. And but with the Power Toys, if I double tap the control key, it zooms right in on my pointer, and then when I click, it goes back. So really nice, and that's a great one. Share experience, whether it's in a File Explorer window here, I'll do one of these. I go to OneDrive and choose Share. It comes up a very nice, clean, easy looking. So I can share, decide who I want to share it with. I can say share with anybody. I can choose whether they can edit or not. I can set set dates on there. I can set a password, block down. I mean, there's all sorts of settings you can do, but makes it really easy. And then I can also just share a link with somebody, or I can put their email in and send it out through here. So it's a nice, the sharing experience has really been cleaned up, and more than just cleaned up, just made consistent. So really all these are really nice features within Windows, as well as notice all the rounded corners. This is Office 365 here, but all my File Explorer, all the menus, everything just nice and clean. So also in the File Explorer, there are tabs. You could have multiple tabs. I haven't used that all that much. I haven't found really the need to at this point. There might be times where that comes up where I'm like, oh yeah, I could have multiple tabs, but I usually don't. And usually if I'm using a File Explorer, if I want two Files Explorers open, it's because I'm moving some things around between different areas, and I'll usually split the screen and open up two File Explorer windows. So anyhow, yeah, so quite a few fun new things in Windows. So if you're holding off, I would encourage you, go ahead and do it. Yeah, get Windows 11 on your machine, play around with it. I think you'll like it. And I haven't had any issues with bugs or not being able to load drivers or different things, or any other apps not working. So it's been clean even since the beta version. It's really been a solid operating system. So let me go back to and again, if you have any questions on anything, let me know. I'm gonna move forward here. So here's a question. And you could do this as if you're teaching Office type courses, Office application courses, Excel, Access, Word, any of those. Are you currently using Office either 2021 or 365 content? Are you planning on moving in the summer, in the fall? Or if you're personally using it, what's your plan? So are you planning on upgrading? Are you currently using 365? You can put in chat what you're currently using on your personal computer, or if you're teaching it, what version you're teaching. Let's see if anybody already using. Yeah, I think most of us, and I'm fine, and I don't know if it's the same where all of you are, but I know here in the States, we have students get Office, and all the colleges get Office 365, or actually it's now called Microsoft 365 free. So as college students, they get it as part of Microsoft agreements within the college. Students get that free, and so they download that. So the and we'll talk about, but the books that we write are all written to 365. So we'll have a little teaser. We'll have some other webinars that will talk more specifically about this office content. But yeah, it looks like quite a few of you are already using 365, which is great. So what I'm going to do is show you some of the new features that have come out in 365 in the last year or so, couple of years, and we'll talk a little bit about those, and then also some of the other Microsoft apps just to help with productivity. So Microsoft Excel, these are some of the new things that came out in Excel over the last year or two. XLOOKUP, huge. This is kind of a game changer. If you haven't played around with XLOOKUP, do it. It's really fun. Basically makes V&H lookup obsolete in that with XLOOKUP, it makes no difference how the data is structured, the data that you're pulling from, that your lookup data doesn't matter. Where V&H lookup, things have to be in a specific spot. So it's pretty particular. XLOOKUP makes no difference whatsoever. You don't have to redo your data table or your lookup worksheet in order to pull those values. So very fun. I'll show you an example of that. Data types are interesting. If you haven't played around with data types, they're kind of fun. They're that dynamic data. It used to be when they first came out, I think with the 2019 version, or 2019 release. I always have the numbered versions just so you kind of know about when they came out, but about 2019. So with 365, the enhanced data types are that dynamic data started with, I think, stocks and geography, something like that. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff. So there's nutrition and movies, and I'll show you just a whole variety of different things. Analyze data, formerly called ideas. And what that does, and actually it started with PowerPoint. So it started with PowerPoint, and I think it was called Design Ideas in PowerPoint when it originally came out. And basically just takes what's on the slide, PowerPoint slide, and gives you a bunch of options for how to a bunch of options on how to visually display it differently, or maybe enhance the visual display of it. So what Microsoft did is they took that idea and they expanded that out to Excel, and it was formerly it's called Ideas. Now it's called Analyze Data. And basically anything that you select on a worksheet, you can analyze the data and have it give you options for, hey, presenting this in a pivot table or a pivot chart or a regular table or a regular chart. So a whole bunch of different ideas. So, and it's actually in Word right now. It's in the Word Online. It's not in the desktop version of Word, but it's in Word Online. It's called Designer. And same thing, takes what's on the page, what's in the document, and gives you ideas how to visually represent that better. So same thing between all the different apps. It's not available in Access, but it is in the other apps, and that's called Analyze Data. Some enhanced BI tools for Mac. It's starting to get a little better for Mac. Mac has always lagged a little bit on features, but they are coming a little more in line with each iteration of Microsoft 365. Microsoft Search, it's just unified with all the apps now, which is kind of nice. Replaces Tell Me. Tell Me's been around for a while. Sketch Shapes, another one. In Word, the editor, I'll show you this. This is really, really nice. The editor is basically just an enhanced spelling grammar checker, but it gets a little more granular, and it kind of visually presents your document. It kind of gives an overall score. All of that is kind of fun. Modern comments and editing status, fairly new in Word. Search, which used to be Smart Lookup, is searching for information that you can pull into a document. Text prediction, Designer, online only, and Microsoft has kind of switched the way they do things. They used to put new features in the desktop version, and then some of those features might make it to the online version. Now they've kind of switched that up where almost all the new features go to the online version, the browser-based version of the Microsoft 365 apps first, tested out there, and then get rolled into the desktop version. We'll talk about another one that's just recently coming out. So Microsoft Search, Sketch Shapes, another one. PowerPoint, these are really fun ones. Presenter Coach. Okay, if you haven't used Presenter Coach, really nice. It gives you lifetime feedback so you can practice a presentation. Also, subtitles, you can put on subtitles. Cameo, you can put a little picture of you there. Again, Designer, it used to be called Design Ideas, but now it's called Designer and all that. So let me, I'm going to jump out of here real quickly and show you a couple things here. So let me start with Excel, and and so Excel, their XLOOKUP. So here's an XLOOKUP function here in Excel, and I can replicate that down. We have a couple different XLOOKUPs. So that's looking up some data. It's looking it up on this worksheet here. So it really makes no difference how a worksheet's structured. It's able to pull that data and look that up. You can also even use range names where you don't even have to use the sheet name on there also if you use range names. So that's pretty nice as well. Let me look at data types here. So data types are on the data tab here, and this is data types. A whole bunch of them. So stock, currency, geographies, those were ones that were original. I think it was just 2, maybe 3, but now they have all sorts of activities, anatomy, animal. I mean, they're just all sorts, but it is dynamic data that you could pull in. So for example, I have a bunch of states here. So sorry, United States stuff, but from that, I can click on this menu and get all sorts of different things here. So I have largest city, let's go population and put that in there. So if I go and say, okay, what's the population of some of these here? And I can put that in, and it's going to automatically put that there. If I want to, I can replicate those down if I want. Same thing here. It's all that dynamic data. Let's see if it actually puts it in there. So really nice. And again, you could do the same with some stocks. You could do the same with food. I did a whole bunch of just calories, different things, movies, all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of fun. What else in Excel? Oh, analyze data. This is a great one. If you haven't used the analyze data, highly recommend. Just play around. Open up a worksheet that you have. Play around. This is the document here that just has some data in it. If I click the analyze data button over here, it's on the home tab. It's going to give me some ideas. So here's a pivot table with that same data. Here's a pivot chart with that same data. Here's another pivot chart. I can do show more. It's going to give me a whole bunch of other ways to present that data. And so kind of nice, and regular chart. It gives you all sorts of things. It's already in a table, so not too many table suggestions there. Let's go into Word here. Show you something in Word. So there's a Word document, and again, we don't have, the designer's not on the desktop version yet, but the editor. So, and even the editor has been enhanced where it's placed on the home tab. You can also still find it on the review tab as well. It's over here in the proofing group. But yeah, so if I click the editor, it's going to open up a pane at the right-hand side. It's going to give me an overall score. So my score's not great right now. Oh, there it goes. It went up a little bit. But then it breaks it down into spelling and grammar errors. And if you have other, clarity or concisement errors, it's going to put that in there as well. If you click on the editor score, it's going to take you to kind of what looked like the spelling and grammar checker before. So you go through and correct those. Another nice enhancement in this has been where if I click, if you right click on something in your document, you're going to get the kind of spelling suggestions there. Now, if I just normal click, I don't even have to right click, you get this new card that's a little simpler. And it does have the ellipses there to give you more options as well, but you could select it. So I've kind of been training myself to not right click and just click on things to correct them. And as you do that, the score changes. So anyway, that's the other. Let me pull up PowerPoint here. This is a different presentation here. So if I do designer, it's going to give me, take whatever's on that slide and generate just a whole bunch of different ideas to present that data, which is kind of fun. So that's that. If you haven't played around with that, definitely do that. The other one, so there's a couple other things available. So slideshow here, you can use subtitles. So, and there's subtitle settings here, different languages, all of that, where you place it. So you can turn subtitles on and it will just automatically subtitle as you're talking. So if you're recording a presentation for your students, you can turn that on also. So that's kind of nice. The Rehearse with Coach. Okay, so this one's really interesting. So Rehearse with Coach will actually take you through live time, and you could have your students do this. You can do this. If I click on this, it's going to start this presentation, and I can say show real-time feedback, start rehearsing. And I can go through and talk about this, talk off the slide. It's going to listen here. If I read it, it's like question, when do you and or your student college plan to transition to Office 2021 365 content, summer 2022, fall 2022? It's kind of older slide here, but it's going to listen and tell me, hey, don't use too much. It's going to say, don't read off the slide. Don't use different language, kind of not, yeah, all those are on there. But as I finish, then it's going to give me a report. So now, whether the pace I'm talking, I kind of think I'm talking fast, but anyway, it kind of gives you a range where you should be talking. I guess I'm right about that range as far as my speed, different types of language, pitch, all of that. It'll give you quite a bit of information. So that's called the coach there, the Rehearse with Coach. And then finally, on your record, you could do a cameo. So I can stick in the corner here, delete that out of there. I can put it anywhere. But a little cameo, and if I turn my webcam on, oh, there we go. And I can put myself right here in the corner so your students could see you. You could do this for a little bit and then turn it off after that. And so a lot of times when I'm doing recordings for my students, whether it's a PowerPoint or just capturing my screen, I'll put the video on for a while so they can see me and help humanize the course a little bit. And then I'll turn it on. So I'll go ahead and turn my cameo. See if I can turn my cameo off now. Oh, I got another cameo. Now I have a couple. So I gotta get rid of both those. There we go. And that's off. So those are a bunch of fun things that are available. Let me see if I missed anything on designer. Okay, so let's go back here. This will be an interesting one because this just came out. Okay, Copilot. Okay, I don't know if any of you have heard this. Copilot. Just last week, I think I read an article about it. But basically, Microsoft has invested a ton of money. I think invested $1 billion already in OpenAI ChatGTP, and I think they've promised another $5 billion or so investing in this artificial intelligence. And so I don't know if you played around with ChatGTP much. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. If you haven't played around, get on, create an account. It's a free account you can create, and it's amazing what it does. But so Copilot, basically they are incorporating ChatGPT into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams. There's going to be other things also to help you generate content. So that's what ChatGPT, I think, as an educator, kind of scares me a little bit, just because you can put in pretty much any prompt and it will spit out some information, and usually really good. If I put in write a bio for Randy Nordell, and oh my goodness, it pulled information from the internet and made a pretty good bio for me. A couple things that were not quite accurate, but pretty darn close. All of this is going to be incorporated into all the Microsoft 365 apps. So it's coming. It's coming. Right now it's being tested. It was tested internally. It's being tested a little broader now. And again, like I had mentioned earlier, it's being tested on the Office Online, the browser-based Microsoft 365 apps. I checked mine just recently and it's not there yet. So it'll keep rolling out to other users. So thoughts on this? Okay, couple things, and you could throw this in chat. First of all, have you played around with Chat GTP at all and just tested it out? And then second things, what are your thoughts about it? As an educator, as us as educators, are you excited about it? Are you worried about it? A little bit of both. What do you think? And because we have a saying in the United States, you can't unring the bell. Once a bell has been rung, you can't unring it. And that's kind of the way this is with this artificial intelligence. It's out there. Chat GTP is out there. Our students are already using it. And again, on one hand, I'm excited about it. I really am. I think the potential of generating content that you could customize all that and make it even better is awesome. Huge time saver, huge productivity hack, being able to use Chat GTP. Worried about it in that, hey, is this going to make our students, even lazier than they are already? And the worried part of it is, our students, or some of us as educators, will just take whatever it gives you and leave it at that and not really use it as a base, but use it as a final product. And so it really does. And I see a little mixture. I'm looking at chat and I see exciting, excited about it, worried about students might misuse it. I think I've kind of gone back and forth and on this. I'm really excited about to see where it goes. And I mean, we're just Chat GTP 4 just kind of came out, where 3 was kind of a static version where it would just pull information. It didn't really learn from that, where Chat GTP 4 is starting to learn from, if you say, hey, make this, more concise, or make this information's wrong, it's starting to self-learn. So new iterations as they come out will have more of that self-learning in there. Chat GTP will destroy critical thinking. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Mohammed. I think it's it's going to be interesting, and as educators, it's going to be really interesting to see how we leverage that, because again, it's out there. I don't know that there's a way to shut that down. And if it's you shut down Chat GTP or OpenAI website, something else is going to come. There's going to be other ones out there that are going to replicate what's happening here. So it's going to be really interesting. Again, as an educator, I like cutting edge stuff. I like new things, knowing that, I don't just blindly embrace them, but I try to think about how do we best leverage it as instructors. So something to think about. Maybe we'll talk more about Chat GTP, or I can show you an example at the end if you want. Get on and we'll do that. But let me tell you a couple other things here as far as personal productivity. So these are other part of the Microsoft 365 app suite. So just so Microsoft 365, that's kind of an umbrella term. Underneath that are the Microsoft 365 Office apps, but there's a whole bunch of other things to do. We can use Chat GTP as your research assistant. Yeah, that's really good. Well said. And that's kind of what I've done is for a presentation, I'm like, hey, give me 5 ideas on student engagement and see what comes up, and use that, and then I can customize it. But yeah, absolutely use it as an assistant, not a final product. And that's why I'm starting to have this conversation with my students. Engage it, use it out there. It'll help you. It'll make you more productive. Just use it as a starting point, not as a final product. So anyway, so editor, I showed you the editor in Word. Let's see how we're doing we're doing okay. I showed you the editor in Word. You can also add the extension to the editor extension to your browser so that, like, when I use Canvas is my LMS that I use in my classes. And as I'm typing message to students, it's correcting it like it would on a Word document or an email in Outlook. So that's another one. To do, which used to be tasks in Outlook, it's still tasks in Outlook or to do in Outlook, but they've really enhanced it, made it much better. And there's a separate app that you can download from the Microsoft Store that ties in with your Outlook. So really, really nice. I like it because I have it on my phone also. And so when I'm out, I'm like, oh, I have a task I need to prepare for this presentation that Suresh has signed me up for, so I can put that in my to-do and have that available. And again, it syncs with Outlook. OneNote. One last thing on to-do there, and I'll show you a couple of these real quickly, but also in to-do, if you flag any items in your inbox, any emails in there, it puts it in your to-do list. So flagging an item basically makes it a to-do item. So it shows up in your tasks in Outlook, but it also shows up in your to-do app as well. So I do really like that. And again, helps me be more productive, helps me to not forget things and things fall through the cracks. OneNote, I live in OneNote. If you don't use OneNote, I'd highly suggest it. It's just like a big notebook that you can, have different books and different chapters and pages and all that, and just keep everything. I keep, after I have meetings with instructors or some of the authors on my team, I'll go in and make notes just to help me remember what we talked about. And so, and again, it's an app on my phone as well. So I can go in and add things or find things at any point on there. Teams, I think most of us use Teams quite often. I think where we can really leverage the Teams is adding in some of these others. So not just for meetings and all that, but having a shared OneNote notebook, having a shared task to-do list, great. Having a shared file space within Teams, really, really nice. So, yeah, again, Teams is great. It's a big room essentially, but there's things that you can leverage within it that even make it better. So here's a couple other hacks, and I'm going to probably kind of end with this, and then we'll have some questions, and I'll show you a couple of these things. Signatures in Outlook. Okay, you think, okay, how is that a hack? We add our signatures, all that stuff in there, and yes, most of us think of that. Okay, I have my name, my college, and all of that stuff, and their contact information. Signatures are much bigger, and I think it's probably one of the most underused tool in all of the different Microsoft apps. So here's the way I use signatures is I will, anytime I get a common question from students, from professors, from college, and being an author, I work with colleges all over the country, Canada and all that. Anytime I get common questions, what I'll do is I'll go back, look at a previous response I had from an email, look it up in my sent items, find it, copy it, make a signature out of it, and keep it in my signature so that when I get the question again, I can just dump that in there in an email, click reply, dump it in as a signature. And signatures can be, I'll show you some, but I have paragraphs of information with screenshots and links and all sorts of things in a signature. So it saves me, I don't even know the amount of time this saves me in a semester using signatures. And so I think that's probably one of the biggest things. Pinning commonly used files in Word and Excel, really, really powerful. So let me show you just a couple things. So let me show you, here's Microsoft To Do. This is an app. Again, it's tied in with Outlook. I don't want to open my email right now, but just because there'll be a whole bunch of junk in there. But this is a whole bunch of things. So whenever we have some issues with grading on a project or something, I'll put it in here and just wait for feedback on that before I check it off. But really nice, easy to create. I can go by flagged email. So the ones that are flagged in my inbox that I need to follow up with, I can do that. These are just kind of all the tasks or just my tasks. And this is everything all combined there together. So it's a really nice app. And this has been out for, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years now. And the app on the phone is really nice as well. So play around with To Do. I think you'll like that. And again, it's tied in with your with your Outlook. Well, I guess I am going to have to open up Outlook because I want to show you signatures. This is, let's see if it loads here, how fast it loads, but I have, I don't know, probably a dozen and a half signatures that I use somewhat regularly. And here's an email about one of these projects, and I'll get a check off on my to-do saying they got it fixed here. But if I go to one of these, I'll go to email from Suresh here. And if I go to reply, my signatures are going to come up here. And so these are all my different signatures. So I have, students ask me about having a class and all of this stuff, about our lab, the online help desk, the hours, all of that. If students ask me about, oh, how do I install Office 365 apps? I have that. And that puts in a whole bunch. And I usually put hi name at the beginning. So then I can just type in, I double click on that and type in the person's name. And then it looks like this nice personalized email. So I have everything all proofread. I have links in here. I have a screenshot down here on how to do all this. All this is all saved as a signature. I don't have to go find where I did it, emailed somebody else, all this stuff. It's all right there. So my students and, people I work with, colleagues, they think they get this nice customized email from me, where in fact, it was at one point a customized new email, but I'm able to reuse it. And I have a ton of these. So the more you use these, the more you can think about. Even if students send me a email that's not very professional, like they're texting me or I'm their buddy, their text, I'll say, hey, that wasn't very professional. People judge you by first impression, anyway, blah, blah, blah. Great use. So think of the ways that you can use signatures to save you time. And finally, I'm going to, I'll pull up Word here. If you go to the Backstage view, there's a pinned area where you have pinned documents. So files that I use a lot. I have a chapter video list for each of my courses. I do a lot of videos for my students and send out short little videos. I do a grammar tip of the week. I teach business communication, business English. And so I pin these files so that I can open them up right from there. I don't have to go find it and look it up and all of that, and have everything available. So you could do that and take any of your recent files, and there's a little pin over here. And if you pin that, it stores it in that pinned area. So if you're on the new, I think it's in there maybe it's not on the new area. I can't remember here. So anyhow, in that pinned area. So another way to do that. I see that Naveen using To Do, and I'm with you. I really like To Do. I think that's about it. Let me I think signatures are huge. All of these, OneNote, all the editor. Oh, editor in let me see if I can find something here. Here's my you can add, this is the editor right here. You can add it as a plugin in your, or an extension in your browser. So I think pretty much whatever browser you use, you can add it in there. And then it just checks it on the fly, kind of like Grammarly. I don't know if you use Grammarly, but editor is in direct response to that and direct competition to that. So Microsoft already had it available in the Office app. So why not make it available outside of that and use it as in a browser? So that's kind of nice. I'll put that back over here. Okay, let me go back here. I got another question for you. Okay, so of all the new things that we've talked about today, we're getting near the end of our hour, and I want to be respectful of your time and have a little time for questions. What are you most excited about? So of all these, different Windows, Microsoft, Copilot, my little hacks of signatures and To Do and spinning pile. Throw in chat what you're most excited about, maybe incorporating in the next week or trying something out. I see to-do is helpful, that Naveen said. Editor, yeah, editor's great. Go find that, put that in your browser. You won't be disappointed. It kind of just runs in the back. I don't even notice it's there, other than when I'm typing messages to students in Canvas, it will correct my errors. Editor, yeah, that's a great one. So let's see. So any questions for me? Signatures look good, but I don't use Outlook. Okay, so yeah, also to do is good. Yeah, if you use Outlook, I think signatures may be available in other apps depending on what you're using for your email, even browser-based stuff. I think there most different clients for email will have some type of signatures. Subtitles in PowerPoint, it's a great one and super easy. Just click it to turn it on, and it's pretty accurate. It's surprisingly accurate. So anybody have any questions for me? Anything? I have my contact information. Feel free to send me an email, or our officeinpractice.com. That's our website for our book. And I'm on LinkedIn if you want to friend me on LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel called Randy's Office, and I have videos on there. A lot of those are related more closely to our book content, but some of them are just kind of new features in Microsoft 365 or Windows or something like that. So any questions for me? I appreciate all of you staying around at the end of your day. There's quite a few of us on now, which is kind of fun, and from all over. So I'm going to move forward one more slide here to kind of teaser. This is the first in a series of webinars that we're going to do, and so we have some coming up. These are the 3 tentative ones that next one will probably be in a month or a little more, and but it's about SimNet. SimNet is a learning and evaluation tool. What about EndNote for reference? Oh yeah, and that was a cool introduction. Oh good, I'm glad some of you are liking this. Yeah, I hope it was helpful. And EndNotes and for a reference, yeah, you can. EndNotes are in Word. Those are actually really easy to do. You can do footnotes or EndNotes. Also in Word. I don't know if you're talking somebody. Zanab, I think is. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but anyway, yes, and you can also use references in there and create citations and a reference page from it. It's pretty amazing, and that's been around. Yeah, referencing, citation. Yeah, that's been around for quite some time. But anyway, and we cover it in our books, actually, in the Word book on how to do all that, and it's really powerful. If you haven't used that, just go to the. But these are some of them. I'll pull up Word real quickly. And in the references area, this is where this whole section, you can choose which type of bibliography, APA, MLA, or whichever you use. You can insert citations and manage sources and reinsert them. I can go and insert ones I've used. I guess I don't have any here on my managed sources, but I can add placeholders, add a new source. Really, really powerful, and it helps you fill out the correct information to cite information correctly. And yeah, so thank you, whoever's that. I will go through. If any problem, I'll let you know. All right. So anyway.
Thank you, Randy. I think I got a lot of tips actually from the session today. So I mean, I'm really grateful you gave us your time and you were here. Thank you so much. And I hope it was useful for our audience. And I see that they stuck around. And I saw Randy's screen ready. Is it okay if you could share what you were just seeing upcoming webinars? So make sure you check your inboxes, because as Randy said, this is the first of the webinar series that we are going to be running. So we do have the next one, which is a very exciting one: student success and career readiness. This is a hot topic in the region. I know that. So watch out for the registration link that you should have, and we will be covering this, and along with the other ones that you see on your screen right now. Please introduce SimNet. Oh, how exciting is that? Randy would love to introduce SimNet. But maybe
yeah.
next session, do you think, Naveen, that's okay?
Yes, that's kind
Respectful
of
of your
oh
time.
yeah, oh excellent. Yeah, we'll talk about SimNet, and if you don't know what it is, I'll explain all that, but I'll talk about the first one coming up, student success career readiness, so kind of the student side of SimNet. The second one will be more the instructor side of SimNet, how to use it in your course, customize content to set up the way you teach your course and all of that. And then at the end, where last one's probably gonna be an interview with a SimNet user and myself, and a little Q&A time. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's a good, exciting sessions that are planned. So thank you so much for being here with us today. But I'd like to thank Dr. Randy as well. Thank you so much for your time and all the tips that these are indeed hacks for us, professors as in, but even I can apply them. So thank you so much. And I've seen your channel, by the way, lovely videos. So they're quite helpful. If you want to follow, check out Randy's office on YouTube. Until next time, this is the end of the session. Make sure you check your inbox for your certificate, and also we will be sending you the recording. I also thought to let you know that we are running a session tomorrow if you would be interested to join. This one is you can learn how your students can achieve more with a personalized learning approach. We'll be covering Alex in specific, so how you can use Alex to improve your student grades. And we'll hear from Dr. Dale Johnson, who has transformed his teaching by using Alex. So I'm going to drop the registration link in case you want to join for the session tomorrow. So it's using Alex to transform teaching from mass production to mass personalization. And here is the link to join in case you'd like to join for the session tomorrow. It's at 10 a.m. But this is different, by the way, just so you don't get confused. I'm just here and I know you might benefit from this, so I thought I'll give you a shout. But if you're only interested in the SimNet side, then yes, we will be doing more series of these webinars, but feel free to give us feedback, ask questions, but we will send you an email with your certificate link and the recording of this session. Have a wonderful rest of the week and take care of yourself. Thank you,
Bye,
Randy.
y'all.
Bye.
You bet. Bye.